Hey, so this is Carmel, and this is my daily download. Thought I'd introduce you guys to these guys. You can go to beingandbecoming.life to find out more about where I'm generally coming from, which isn't typically a land of kitty cats, but this one's purring away. But I'm just realizing these are great time wasters, and if I don't do a daily download soon, then it's not going to happen today. So I thought I'll just do it like this. Because I just had a client session, and in that session, what came really clear through me was that the plan is happening, but it's not going to work. So whatever plan you have for now, or whatever plan you feel like is trying to be rolled out for your life, or whatever agenda you feel like the world is in at the moment, it's happening, but it's not going to happen. What's happening instead, or what's happening beneath what's happening through what's happening, is this increase in the frequencies of the purity of love. When you look at the floods, for example, that just happened in Australia, or are happening in Australia, there hasn't been much help from the authorities or the kind of support you'd expect that they would normally get. It hasn't even been shown on the media to the degree of the destruction and the humanitarian crisis that's there at the moment. What is happening on the ground, though, is the amount of people and communities that are coming together, the support that's happening, the love that is blossoming up through the crises is profoundly immense. What's happening here, like we just watched in New Zealand on the, where are you going? With the parliament protests that were happening. There was a massive upsurgence of love and freedom and connectivity, and the whole way in which the community emerged out of nowhere and came together and worked really, really well, despite aggravation from authorities, despite the shutting down of a peaceful, democratic, legal process, despite the torture and the brutality of police authorities and government authorities in all the different ways that they did, whether it was sparking up EMF towers or playing grade 2 recorder music on repeat over and over, the kind of mind torture that was done, and then the night raids that happened by the police every single night for a while until they finally waited to the last day to do a dawn raid. But they'd waited all night for the raid to come, and finally it came at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. They're all tired, they've been up, they've been hypervigilant, it's been night after night, and the way in which it was carried out, instead of just peaceful communication, that's all they were asking for, was come and commune with us, come and speak with us. In the purity of love, let's get together and share perspectives, like what's happened to the art of debate? What's happened to the democratic right to have your own opinion, your own perspective, and say, I think this, what do you think? Okay, so you think that, this is what I think about that. And to go back and forth and have a proper conversation, what's happened to the art of that, you know? But through it all, where are you going? She's turning around. Through it all, there is this, hi, there she is. Through it all, there is this deep-seated purity of love that's flowing through each and every single one of us. The gold frequency is alive and well. The deeper connectivity inside you that turns you on like your own internet connection and turns on your own inner healing ability, that is what's going to ride through this. He likes to always go and be with her. That's what's going to get us going in a way that lines us up with community, with love, with freedom, with expression of joy and happiness. It's going to come from within. And as we tune into who we are on the inside and we shine the purity of that love through it all, what you'll notice is that any plan that comes from the outside in is not going to work, because we are in a state of emergence. We are emerging as a new humanity. We are not planning for a global reset. There is no global reset happening. We are in an emergence of a new humanity. And that new humanity is going to be able to connect and communicate in ways that are far more profound than we've known so far. So if you're feeling fearful, and if you're feeling upset and triggered and scared by what seems to be happening in front of your eyes, stop, come into yourself, and feel into what is actually happening in your now moment. And when you find what is actually happening in this now moment, you're falling off. He's pushed you off, hasn't he? You'll be able to come into alignment with basic love. Do you want to get down? So I invite you to stop focusing and stop worrying about what is not happening that you want to be happening. Where are you going? And instead of come here, mister. Come here. You can go down there. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. And instead of being plugged into and driven by the fear of an agenda that's coming from outside of you, feel into what's actually going on the inside of you. On the inside of you is an emergence of raw, pure love. And when you can drop into that and shine from the inside out, you'll know what step to take next. You'll know where you're at in your acceptance of self and in your love of who you are and why you're here. And you'll also find that you know exactly what step to take next. You'll know what step to take next. But when someone's saying, well, what's the plan? The plan's not going to work, because we can't know what the future is that we're stepping into at this time. Some of you will feel like you know what's happening, and that might work. I might be completely and utterly wrong. So if this doesn't resonate for you, throw it out. You don't have to live this way. If it does resonate for you, then drop into the rhythm of your own heart. Feel what's going on in your heart center, and feel what's the next step. It'll be the step that's driven by the purity of love, and it brings online a sense of okayness even when all is not okay. It brings on a sense of positivity even when things feel negative around you. And it drops you into a deeper sense of authenticity and integrity that allows you to take the next step, knowing that at least you're taking a step that's true for you. And that's what's the most important thing. If what I'm saying doesn't resonate as truth for you, then let it go. Turn me off. Flick me out, you know. Maybe something else I say at a different period in time will resonate more. And maybe it won't. Maybe I'm just on a different page, in a different dimension, running on a different frequency than what aligns with where you're at. And that's okay too. We all have our own vibe, our own resonance to jive with. And we find that we all arrived here in certain pods, and those pods are now lining up. And as you line up with the peeps from your pod, you're going to line up with the support that you need. And that's going to happen as you resonate your own vibrational frequency from the purity of the love that's inside your heart. To find out more about me and how I can help and serve you as an intuitive in your world, go to www.beingandbecoming.life. And I would love to meet you, work with you, serve you. Let's see what you need.